Have you ever looked around and quietly asked yourself a painful question? What am I doing wrong? Because somehow, no matter how hard you work, it feels like everyone else is moving faster. The guy at work drives the BMW. Someone else just got back from a luxury vacation. Another coworker upgraded to a beautiful apartment. And meanwhile, you're doing what you're supposed to do. You work, you pay your bills, you try to be responsible. You avoid reckless decisions. You tell yourself that discipline should eventually pay off. So why does it feel like everyone else is winning while you're just trying to stay afloat? What if I told you most of what you're seeing is not what you think? Because your brain has a dangerous habit. It doesn't compare you to billionaires. It compares you to people who feel like your peers, coworkers, friends, neighbors, people your age, people with similar jobs. And when those people seem to be living better than you, your brain immediately starts telling a story. Maybe I'm behind. Maybe I made bad decisions. Maybe I'm not ambitious enough. Maybe everyone else figured something out. But that story is often completely wrong, because income and wealth are not the same thing. A person making more money than you is not automatically wealthier than you. And a person spending more money than you definitely isn't. But modern life trains us to confuse spending with success. The moment income goes up, expectations go up. A nicer apartment becomes reasonable. A newer car feels justified. Better furniture feels deserved. A better phone feels harmless. A vacation feels earned. A nicer restaurant becomes normal, and none of it feels reckless in the moment. Because it happens gradually. One upgrade at a time, one emotional purchase at a time, one I deserve this moment at a time. And suddenly what looked like progress becomes pressure. And the dangerous part is that lifestyle inflation rarely feels like a mistake. It feels like progress, because everyone around you normalizes it. A nicer car becomes what successful adults drive. A luxury apartment becomes what hard work should buy. And slowly, your definition of normal becomes more expensive than your income can safely support. A higher income does not automatically create wealth. Sometimes it simply creates a bigger spending ceiling. And this is where the machine begins. Credit cards, monthly payments, buy now, pay later, financing, installments, everything designed to make expensive things feel harmless. That's the trick. Because people rarely think in total cost. They think in monthly pain. A luxury car payment feels manageable. A furniture payment feels manageable. A vacation payment feels manageable. A phone payment feels manageable. A streaming subscription feels manageable. A gym membership feels manageable. Until you stack 10 manageable payments together. Then your paycheck arrives and disappears. That's how the trap works. A luxury car does not mean someone is wealthy. Very often it means they qualified for a payment. And those are completely different things, because ownership and access are not the same reality. And once interest gets involved, the math gets ugly. Now you're not buying things. You're buying things plus time, plus fees, plus interest, plus emotional decisions you made months ago. At that point, you're renting your impulses, and this is where so many people get stuck. They work harder, earn more, push longer hours, sacrifice weekends, take extra shifts, try side hustles, and somehow still don't get ahead. Because debt is not static. Debt moves, debt grows, debt compounds. And if you stop running, it catches you. Debt doesn't care how successful you look, and that's why two people with the same salary can live completely different financial realities. One person owns assets, the other owns payments. One is building future freedom. The other is financing appearances. And then social media makes everything worse. Vacation photos, luxury dinners, designer watches, airport selfies, perfect smiling lives, perfect couples, perfect homes. But nobody posts the credit card bill. Nobody posts the anxiety. Nobody posts the sleepless nights. Nobody posts the empty checking account. Nobody posts the quiet panic of checking your balance in a parking lot. And that's what makes comparisons so dangerous, because you're comparing your reality to someone else's highlight reel. But here's another uncomfortable truth. Some people actually are ahead. but not for the reasons you assume. Family money, parental help, free housing, emergency bailouts, trust funds, invisible safety nets, connections, support systems. That doesn't make them bad people, but it does make comparison meaningless, because you may be comparing your independent financial life to someone else's subsidized version. Some people didn't win because they made smarter choices. They simply started from a different position. And now, here's the truth almost nobody wants to hear. Real wealth is usually boring. It doesn't always drive the flashiest car. It doesn't need to impress strangers. It doesn't need to perform success. Real wealth looks calm. Because truly wealthy people are often less interested in looking expensive. They care more about flexibility, more about control, more about reducing stress, more about buying back their time instead of buying approval from strangers. Quiet, disciplined, patient, consistent. Because real wealth is not about appearances. It's about ownership, freedom, time, choices, the ability to survive emergencies without panic, the ability to say no, the ability to walk away, the ability to sleep peacefully. That's what actual wealth feels like. So the next time you see someone who looks richer than you, pause. Because appearances can be financed, luxury can be rented, confidence can be performed, and the person you envy may actually be carrying far more pressure than you realize. The real goal was never to look rich. The real goal was to become financially untouchable. Subscribe to my channel and like it.